All right, guys. Before I get to the next story here, be sure to hit the like button. It helps us out in the algorithm and don't cost you a damn thing. So yeah, guys, a like is greatly appreciated because when y'all hit the like button, that's why we are growing slowly. So yeah, let's talk about this for a minute. Tim Walz, this was a few weeks ago, was on Fast Politics with Joy Jug Fast. And they was talking about what went wrong with the campaign and why Kamala lost. Well, why both him and Kamala lost. Um, and it is pretty interesting his response of it. It's good to hear from the horse's mouth, as they say. The Democratic Party, man's in shambles. Like I'm gonna get into that in the next few minutes or so. But yeah, like I want to know what went wrong from the guy that was running with Kamala Harris. A lot of people said that the reason why probably too that didn't help things done is that Tim Walz didn't speak enough. But I think the genocide, man, just and then Tim Walz is a Zionist too, by the way, guys. Like he believes Israel have the right to exist. Like like I covered that on my show earlier last year. So yeah, I had to say that too. So Tim Walz don't get no pass from me. Like fuck him. Like my thing is like Israel does not have the right to exist. But it ain't about Israel right now. It's about the 2024 presidential election. So let's hear Tim Walz say why they didn't win.
I mean, you guys have a lot more power. Like, one of the things that I always fault Democrats for is that, or at least I looked at Republican, during Biden's administration, we saw Texas really and Florida really just be like, we're doing our own thing.
Yes.
Now, and Democrats can do that to a certain extent, right? I mean, they may be
Yes.
punished. Yeah. So talk us through that.
Yes. And look, I hear the thing out there is that when we get back, which we'll fight. I'll tell you what people are going to expect is they're not going to expect us to tinkle around the edge with the ACA. They're going to expect universal health care.
Y'all heard that? Oh snap! Ooh snap! Man, y'all heard it from the horse's mouth himself. I had to agree with him. Like they gonna come back stronger. Bro, like your party is in shambles right now, man. Like everybody like they doing their own thing. Like they're trying to resist Trump. Yeah, they dancing and shit while people are fucking afraid to fucking lose their Medicaid or food stamps and Social Security. Like people are frightened. Like people are scared, man. Like um, but yeah, like he's right. Like I think Tim Walz know a lot more than I think the Democrats know that people want universal health care. I think the problem is that um, as long as the Democrats is tied to the health insurance lobby, bro, like ain't no universal health care gonna happen anytime soon. Like Nick Cruz said this himself. Like Medicare for all is dead. Like the squad in particular had a chance to like put it out there, put pressure on these motherfuckers, but they chose to go along to get along, and the result is two of their members got fucking axed by APEC. So yeah, like I mean that's true, but I don't know. I let them continue.
And if there's a lesson here, I always said this. We had a one vote majority in Minnesota when we moved clean energy, we moved reproductive rights, we moved a whole slew of progressive, very popular, including things around guns and gun safety, very popular things. We moved it with a one vote majority. And people ask, well, what do you call a one vote majority? A majority. Simple as that. These guys have learned that.
See, state. That's why people say vote on the local level because when you vote on the local level, like you have a one seat majority in the state legislature and you get shit done. Like because they rigged the system for it to not work. You need 60 votes in the Senate or um, or the House. It should be how the Senate should be, in my opinion. Like how the fuck the House could like have a one seat in the House and get shit passed with the majority party, while the fucking Senate, you need 60 votes. Like, yeah, I believe the Senate was put there to keep progress from happening. Like, obviously. So, I had to put that out there, get the little left Indian in me, left Indian, he come with the facts. Like, this guy is a genius, but let me continue.
Lesson. And governors have that ability. I'm in Europe trying to foster what I can on the trade. Now, look, if they cut our funding, it's $2 billion,
Right.
out of a roughly $30 billion state budget. So it is
Right.
a massive hole that we can't fill alone. But
Right.
there are things that we can do. There are things that we can push back on. There are things that we can separate. Now, the irony of this is Republicans being all about states' rights until they're not about states' rights.
Right. Of course.
We're still establishing ourselves. We're sub-federal level of government, but we have a lot of autonomy. Like I can be invited to the Netherlands to speak. And I said this, Molly, that I'm a rule follower that used to be politics ends at water's edge, means we
Right.
with a unified voice to that. I recognize that the position right now, official position of the federal government is that we're not going to support Ukraine. That's not the
Right.
majority position of Americans. And you can walk that line. And I
Right.
think that's what we need to do more of. We need to push back. And again, I hope everybody and I hope Republicans know this. You are teaching us a lot of what happens when we get back and control these, that we need to deliver for people because and that's their downfall in this. Where are they delivering for people other than just angst and anger and taking it out on immigrants or whatever? No egg prices.
I mean, that's true. Again, like, Democrats don't deliver either. If y'all delivered, I'm pretty sure she would have won, right? I'm just saying. And you're right. Republican Party is, basically said the whole time, like, hey, it's the immigrants' fault why people's lives aren't improving, which, that's a motherfucking lie, because at the same time, the immigrants are the reason why we have food on our table each night. We were able to eat. Like, we were able to have housing. Like, immigrants, man. Like, and then immigrants pay taxes on stuff. Like, they pay taxes and they don't even benefit from the taxes they put into the system. So, yeah, like, but again, man, the Democrats ain't gonna deliver either, bro. Like, you know, um, like, I believe, I understand the guy can't say, like, like, they ain't shit, but yeah.
Down. Now
Right.
you got folks that lost their jobs. Now you've got confusion with our neighbors. So I have to tell you, a saying I always said is you lead with good policy and good politics will follow that. And the inverse of that is true. Bad policy will lead to bad politics. And I think Democrats got caught in the wilderness that our policies are popular, but for whatever reason, we didn't articulate it in a way that turned to good politics.
So I have a theory of the case that
I mean, like, you should say it, like, but, huh, basically, to me, y'all policies are weak sauce or they just stagnant. Like they don't go far enough. Like what you said, Tim Walz in the beginning. You said Medicare for all, right? Like universal health care. Like that's how far. Well, not sure, but that's how far it should go. Not the Obamacare, which is just a big subsidy to the big health insurance lobby. So yeah, like I mean, most of your party don't agree with you on that. Yeah, man. So
I have shared with Biden World, and they're very mad at me, that the thing they did wrong was this cautiousness, this fearfulness about interfacing with media, social media, mainstream media. If it's scary, shut it down. If it's too popular, like calling someone weird, shut it down. Talk to me.
Yeah, and look, it far be it from me to critique because I own this. That it was my responsibility to help get this thing won, and so I'll take my shortcomings on this. But I do think there is a cautiousness around that.
Yeah.
I think that we should be more willing to speak to people where they're at. I don't think we should be so worried about are we putting ourselves out there and going to be asked hard questions. We should be asked hard questions.
Right.
And then we should lead and talk about the things that make a difference in people's lives. And I think people did not know how much better our economy was because they weren't
Right.
feeling it. I think we left a void that they're going to fill. And you wrote about this and you know this.
yeah, because like you said, they weren't feeling it. They weren't getting the benefits of the economy improving. Like people still struggling. Like Bidenomics. Remember that? I guess that was they were trying to push to convince the American public like, hey, Biden is don't try to work on the economy, but I mean, food prices are high now, but they were still high under Biden. So yeah, um, they're not going far enough. I think he knows that.
Donald Trump's ability. And, I was like, they had JD Vance on every talk show. And most of the time I was like, oh my God, that's insane. But it was something, and people were seeing it and they were hearing it. And I think for us to get out there now, here's my theory on this too.
And by
President,
the way, every single show, all the time. Like
no, no,
you have to flood the zone because people don't. It's
that's a
not
line I
9
wrote with you.
interviews. It's 900.
Listen, it's not linear, and you don't have to get a 10 out of 10 on every interview you do to be out
Right.
there making points, especially if you believe in it. Now, the thing that I'm hopeful
Yeah.
about, just to tell you in this, is because I'm hearing it. Where are the Democrats? Where's the leadership? Where's the resistance? Where's all of this? President Obama made
Right.
me in 2009 when he took office. He had about a 70% approval rating, far higher than this. He had the House
Right.
and the Senate. There was no charismatic resistance.
But you know what though? He had all that and all that they can get from that to me, which is still boggles my mind, was a bumblefuck version of Romney Care. Like that right there should have told me then, well, I was trying to transitioning to a black conservative at the time, 2012 ish. But again, it's like bro, like, um, you know how much shit you could have got done if y'all actually cared. Like y'all, like Democrats don't want no fight. The next clip I'm about to show y'all, man, they don't want to fight. But yeah, like that's the problem though, Tim Walz. It's like you got 70%, like got 70% control of the um legislative branch, and but blame old dude. I forgot his name. They blame him. Like it's always a rotating hero. Damn, I forgot that guy's name. Shit. They blame him for stopping everything, which was bullshit. Just like with the Biden administration, it was Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema. Damn, not Joe Crowley. Joe Crowley. Damn, I forgot. But yeah. So
It
here we
was
go.
it was Boehner and Mitch McConnell. But you know what it was, and I experienced this. By the summer of 2010, the town halls, the stuff you're seeing in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, it's organic, and it was people. And the Republican leadership followed this. Now, I'm not going to say all of that was organic. It was funded. It was thoughtful. There were groups,
AstroTurfed. Yeah.
but a lot of it was relatively organic. And these are happening now in real time. And I think Democratic leadership needs to recognize that, seize upon it. If these town halls and public angst is there, at least get out there and throw some gas on it and get
Yeah.
people gassed up, give them something to reason. And then we're going to have to recognize people want to see results. And I think
Mhm.
our biggest strength right now is showing them their lack of results. But I hope somebody's thinking this through. What do results look like when we say we take the House back? What's that going to look like? I don't think over the last couple of years, no matter all the great work that I believe the Biden administration did, I don't think it translated much into the mainstream consciousness. And it may be your point on this is we should have just been flooding the zone 100% of the time. I'm an unabashed believer in a shadow government. We don't have
Right.
the here to do it, but I think we should be doing that.
Well, and I also think that if people are not seeing like what the Biden administration did, and God love them, they were not, they came in during a pandemic, but what they did was they didn't do many interviews the first 2 years. They were really quiet and they were like aggressive against the mainstream media, which in itself,
Well, first of all, probably why they didn't do many interviews because Joe Biden was in cognitive decline, which they denied for 4 years. So they lied to us. Like we knew the man was in cognitive decline because the man didn't even know the preamble to the Constitution during his fucking rallies when he was during the primaries. Like he couldn't remember it. Um, and then on top of that, I mean, could put Kamala out there because I mean, Kamala couldn't answer a sentence coherently. So yeah, like I mean, come on, man. Um, Like I'm pretty sure Molly Jung. I'm pretty sure I think she's a liberal. I don't know, but like she know why. Like come on. Um. Anyway, to be honest, they say that they should be in the media more. They should have been out there more. Like they said, JD Vance was on every show. Uh, I mean, to be honest with you, Tim Walz is a Zionist, so he's not going to admit this. But when there's a genocide happening and the Biden administration um, basically aided and abetted in the genocide, yeah, people are going to stay home. Isn't that what happened? You could like Tim Walz could have been on every fucking interview. You know, he could have did every podcast. I should have seen this coming. Like, I said to myself, it's the economy, stupid, but the genocide played a big part in the reason why Kamala Harris lost. Like, nobody's not talking about that. Like, while you have Trump out here saying that, we're gonna get peace with Ukraine and all that stuff. Um, he got a ceasefire deal done. Well, nah, he didn't really get it done. Ceasefire was a farce, but pretend like it, ceasefire and all that stuff, and being steadfast and all that. While the Democrats are, you know, basically being a new neocon. So yeah,
It's fine. I mean, like, my husband is a real liberal and he's always like, the mainstream media was, did this wrong and that wrong. And okay, sure. I'm not going to, I certainly have a horse in this race. So, okay. But the thing is, like, when you think about Donald Trump is talking to the media all the time. And the 4 years he was out of office, he had every journalist in the world down to Mar-a-Lago. I mean, people who hated him, people who he
I think
sued.
it's a model. I think there is a model there, Molly. And look, I know my shortcomings. I own what I own. I don't know if the media, the legacy media did all that they could have. But the lesson here is again, so not engaging them or criticizing them. That old adage, don't fight people who buy their ink in 50-gallon drums. And so engage on that landscape and be out there. So I do think that's there. I do think articulating things that improve people's lives. I always said this. I'm kind of at heart, and I had the advantage of this growing up when I did, strictly squarely middle class people, where you could kind of ignore the politics, if you will, instead of getting engaged the way you should. And I think right now, for us to make the case, I was kind of agnostic. Somebody said, well, you're a Democrat. How'd you get that? I said, I didn't go to the Democrats. They came to me. When my dad died, there was Social Security. I love my public school. When I applied for a Pell Grant, I got it. So all of a sudden now I'm like, well, hell, these are the people who are after me. And how in God's name did the party of the working class lose the working class voters to this billionaire who's clueless? And again, I wish there was some grand.
Tim Walz, like you asking the question, but you know the answer, man. Like they sold out. They Democratic Party sold out, bro. They're not the party of the working class anymore. This ain't 19 what? Shit, really, it started in the 1980s. Really, Citizens United started this shit. So 70s, like, yeah, they got all this stuff done, but like that's the past. Like now, they just like the Republicans. They doing shit. They don't care about working class. I know that's why I always shit on the Democrats. I think a lot of people, like people that don't like understand like what I stand for, like I mean, sometimes they ask why I don't shit on Republicans a lot. It's because Republicans never promised me anything. Democrats, you know, um, it started with Obama. Like he promised universal, like a public option health care. Like he promised a form of universal health care. We never got that. Other stuff like I mean, come on, man. It's kind of like your parent promised you, hey, if you do this right, we'll give you your favorite food or your choice, and then you ask for the favorite food at after you got done accomplishing what you accomplished, and they say, um, sorry, couldn't get it done. You need more this and that. That's the Democratic Party. They always blame, hey, we need more people in the House, we need more people in the Senate. But if you have a slight majority, you can still technically get it passed. You see what I'm saying? Um, like I mean, the Democratic Party, like Stephen A. Smith said it best. I can't believe I'm listening to a sports commentator, but that's sad when a sports commentator know more than these this politician here and these other people. You don't listen to your voters. Like, I'll just pick anybody that the corporate lobbyists want. But for the primaries, y'all don't have primaries. Y'all, like, the shit's rigged. Like, primaries are rigged from the jump. At least the Republicans, they shit is rigged too. But at least they make it seem like it's, legit. Democratic Party, man, they didn't want Bernie Sanders. No, at the time they wanted, Hillary Clinton, which was a warmonger neocon. So yeah, like, that's why y'all lost the working class, bro. Y'all don't listen to the voters. Y'all bending y'all voters. Y'all don't listen to y'all voters, and that's why some of y'all voters right now are sick of y'all, man. They sick of y'all. Like, I can't believe I never thought I see liberals on some various social media platforms complaining about their own party. Like, I mean, they probably still will vote for you, but damn, at least I'm seeing some kind of resistance from their own
And
party.
scheme amongst these guys. This is all about tax cuts. And
Right.
damn, if we didn't give them every other side issue, again, I will kick myself that I got sucked in. I bet you I spent 3 or 4 days, maybe longer, not clowning, but just hammering them over the eating dogs and cats because it was so ridiculous. And I took that hook, line, and sinker. We were talking about immigration at a critical part of the campaign, and it was hurtful and it pissed me off. And I was standing there to defend people, and it didn't do a damn bit of good electorally.
See, I love that you're beating your
So yeah, y'all, I'm gonna end it there. I ain't gonna play the whole thing. You can watch the whole thing yourself. It's on her YouTube channel. I think her YouTube channel is called Fast Politics with Molly Junk Fast. Yeah, watch it yourself. Interesting reasoning. You know, I mean, it's not Tim Walz's fault they lost. It's just, my thing is, I think the number one thing, the reason why they lost is you put Kamala on top of the ticket. She can't answer a coherent question, and can't answer a question in coherent sentences, and then the genocide in Gaza. So, and then the economy too. Like,